Welcome to episode 969. Larry Page, co-founder of Google, 9 lessons. This is an outline of episode 969, lesson 1 to 5. This is lesson 6 to 9. Lesson 1, write down your dream. The idea of Google started with a dream by 23-year-old Larry Page. The important thing is he woke up and wrote it down.
You know what it's like to wake up in the middle of the night with a vivid dream? And you know how if you don't have a pencil and pad by the bed, it will be completely gone by the next morning. I had one of those dreams when I was 23. When I suddenly woke up, I was thinking, what if we could download the whole web and just keep the links? And I grabbed a pen and started writing. Sometimes it's important to wake up and stop dreaming. I spent the middle of that night scribbling out the details and convincing myself it would work. Soon after, I told my advisor, Terry Winograd, it would take a couple of weeks for me to download the web. He nodded knowingly, fully aware it would take much longer, but wise enough not to tell me. The optimism of youth is often underrated.
Lesson 2, Google's most famous mantra, don't be evil.
Oracle is in a legal battle with Google, accusing the online search giant of using its programming language without permission. So if what they did is evil, that makes Larry Page evil.
And I know his slogan is "Don't be evil."
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
And I think he slipped up this one time, but
so he's a good guy, except this one time when he.
This really bothers me. I don't see how he thinks you can just copy someone else's stuff. It really bothers me.
Lesson 3, his secret of success, a healthy disregard for the impossible.
To a training program called Leader Shape. Their slogan is to have a healthy disregard for the impossible. That program encouraged me to pursue a crazy idea at the time. Many things people labor hard to do now, like cooking, cleaning, and driving, will require much less human time in the future. That is if we have a healthy disregard for the impossible and actually build the solutions.
Lesson 4, do the big and difficult things.
Google's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. And one of the things that surprised me, that's a very broad mission. It's a lot of work. We're not going to achieve it anytime soon, right? It's almost an impossible task. But it's an exciting task and one that you can get other people excited about and they can help you. And one of the things that also surprised me is it's sometimes easier to do something that's harder because other people get excited about it and you can get much more resource. You can get tremendous resources to solve a hard problem, whereas you might only get minor resources to solve a small problem.
Lesson 5, his passion is transportation.
That program encouraged me to pursue a crazy idea at the time. I wanted to build a personal rapid transit system on campus to replace the buses. Yeah, you're still working on that, I hear. It was a futuristic way of solving our transportation problem. I still think a lot about transportation. You never lose a dream. It just incubates as a hobby.
Lesson 6, his biggest success and his biggest failure. Of his biggest success is buying YouTube for $1.65 billion in 2006. YouTube is worth $170 billion now. Biggest loss was selling Motorola Mobility to personal computer maker Lenovo for a $9.5 billion loss over 2 years. Maybe not all lost because Google secure patents for the Android operating system. Lesson 7, use leverage.
I think leverage is really, really important. And one of the things I was really lucky, my dad was a computer science professor, and we had a computer when I was really young. And somehow I sort of realized, like, the computer can do a lot of things, and, I'm kind of lazy, and, having the computer do things is good.
Lesson 8, his reputation as the most boring billionaire.
Sergey would be the more obvious CEO than Larry. Sergey was always more, came across much more extroverted and more direct in his thoughts.
Suffering from vocal cord paralysis.
He suffered from vocal cord paralysis due to an ugly cold he had when he was 14.
Tonight, he almost sold Google for $1.6 million.
Google.
I think he's saying that they were having a hard time going to 350 and we were having a hard time.
You know, I start here for one very simple reason. There are many, many instances where things could have gone either way. And I'm really glad they didn't acquire, because the world might have been a very, very different place.
Story, because the reason we didn't sell it is not so much the money. I mean, like, I don't know, we were like grad students, you know, eating burritos or whatever. So like $1 million was a fair amount. The reason I think we really didn't sell the company was that we talked to all the search companies at the time, and they just weren't interested in what we were doing.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.